take a seat while I bring the heat. I'm your host with the most. My name is Dizzy, and I'm definitely going to keep you busy.
How are we doing? So we have our good friend Sunil Osman. Welcome to Sit Down Sundays. You can move now.
Oh, you got me. You got me.
The question is,
pull a freeze.
Before you say anything, we need to know one thing. Are you wearing pants?
I am fully suited. Even though there's nobody around, I am fully suited. Not birthday suit, but full on suit. Suit.
Looking very smart. So I had to mention that because obviously we did a test run, and it was funny. It was perfect. I loved it.
What you're not telling everybody is that I didn't actually know it was being recorded. So I was in such shock. I didn't know. I'm actually glad I didn't just sort of stand up.
So look, people are probably wondering, who is this guy? So being a global traveler, when I lived in South Africa, I bumped into this young man many, many moons ago, and we've kind of been in touch on and off. And recently we rekindled, and I found out he's doing some amazing stuff. I said, I'm doing some amazing stuff. Let's do some amazing stuff together. So Sunil, tell us a little bit about who you are and why you're here.
All right, so I mean, we met about 15 years ago or something. You had a little bit more hair at the time, and I had no gray hairs. I'm trying to catch up to you, but I've been in the entertainment industry sort of area for about 17 to 20 years. I worked in government, and then I've been on this journey of myself for the past 15 years. And I think that is my main purpose for being here, especially taking into what World Transformation Organization does, because I've been on a massive journey of finding myself, rejecting everything my ego thought I was, and just embracing who I actually am. And I've recently been qualified as a master Reiki practitioner. I've got clients across the world, sharing love, spreading love, and trying to get people to understand what real love is and who they really are. Has been quite a journey. And I released a book last year, and I've done movies, I've done radio, I've done theater, I've done everything my passion desires. But what my heart and soul desires is to be there for people as much as I can. I think that's part of the reason I'm here.
Perfect. Well, I remember when we caught up, I was like, wow, this sounds perfect. And I wanted to bring you in because obviously I know you, and I love what you're doing. I love your passion. I mean, it's clear that you are in your element when you're talking about what you're talking about. So I know your book. What's your book called? Sunny Motives, right? How did that come about?
Yeah. So Sunny Motive itself started as I used to create like quotes or go into a meditation, or I'll meet somebody that'll make me think about something, or I'll see a quote. And then it's always been a situation where, for me, a quote is like a work of art. It depends what you're going through in your life, how you're going to apply it. So I created a hashtag about 12 years ago on social media called #SunnyMotive. And when I used to perform comedy, the comedians used to come up to me and say to me, so what's the sunny motive for today? They used to make fun of it. But what I didn't realize is the impact I was having on people's lives. And I used to write little stories, write the little quotes. And then I realized that people need to understand how to unpack quotes. Because Gandhi could have said something, Mandela could have said something, Dizzy with a big D could have said something. But at the end of the day, if you don't know how to apply it to your life, it is just words on paper. So I decided to unpack these quotes, and that was a 4-year writing journey, but a 12-year journey in total. And it's just been amazing to have people in the UK order my book, in Australia, in the US, in Italy, to have the psychology department of a university do a bulk order within the first month of publication during coronavirus lockdown, it's still surreal for me. I've got a copy of my book here. I look at it, I see my name's on it. I'm like, my name is on a book. And part of the reason of writing the book was because I am, and you know this, I'm just that guy. People will just come to me. Sunil is just that guy. Hey man, let's go for a couple of drinks. Meanwhile, Sunil, I really need to speak to somebody and cry on their shoulder. The book is a way of me going, I'm in your hands now. Take control of your life. Take control of your soul. It is about life, love, and business. How you can merge all three and not concentrate on just one, so you can have a holistic life. I'm very proud to say that my youngest reader is 9 years old, and my oldest, I think, is 86.
Wow, that's a big range.
That's basically it. It is. That's the writing process took so long because I had to unpack it in such a way that anybody could pick it up and understand, okay, this is what he's speaking about.
So look, based on the relationship with self, what advice could you give? Because this is just a taster session with Sunil today, yeah. Just so you know, we've got a lot of stuff we can cover, but we're just going to do a little taster today. We're focusing on relationships with yourself. So, do you want to share some stuff? Share some nuggets, because we're going to have a short show today purely because everyone wants it to come home. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So, and it's funny because I created about this, and one thing that I want to say is you need to be real. There are so many people struggling out there to go, this is really who I am. I am not my car. I am not my house. I am not my money. I am not the blanket that's over my body. I am inside. The hardest thing, and this is one of many reasons I believe there's been an increase in an evolving mental health disorder due to lockdowns around our world, is because people have to spend time with themselves and they get a shock because they go, who is this person? Who is this person? Oh my gosh. It is very hard to be real in an artificial world. It is very hard to be real in an artificial world.
So first of all, find out what's real in your life. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. And when it comes to finding out what's real, it's about putting aside your wants, acknowledging your needs. People say, oh, let's do some gratitude tonight. There are so many things out there that people are not aware that they should be grateful for, that you can never be fully doing a gratitude. I do gratitude every single night for the roof over my head, for the food in my stomach, but I forget about the fact that I have a toothbrush, or that I have water flowing, or that I have socks on my feet. It's the small things that count. And so many people forget that because they have this big image of what they have to be grateful for. I actually give gratitude to having Wi-Fi. There are people out there without Wi-Fi. It's a small thing, but in the modern day era, you need to acknowledge everything. And I'm not saying people must spend 3 hours laying in bed going, okay, let me do my gratitude now and let me go through everything in the day. Just be more grateful for what you have, that your needs are satisfied. And there's nothing wrong with wanting more. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with wanting more. But the appreciation behind satisfying a want when it is a need is a lot bigger than when it's just I must be better than this person. I must have a better car than this person. It changes your entire energy and your soul perspective.
So what kind of things are needs? What would you say? If someone says, okay, well, what do I really need? What would you say?
Air to breathe, food in your stomach, your health, love. Love is an important aspect. People think that love is a want. It's want. Because if it becomes a want, then you're satisfying the ego. You're not satisfying your place of truth. And when I speak about place of truth, I'm speaking from a heart space. So many of us live, and I'm guilty of this too. I still do it, but I'm more aware now when I do it. We live in the brain instead of telling the brain to just shut up, telling the brain to keep quiet, brain. And the moment your heart starts keeping the brain quiet, you will start being grateful for more things. So when you ask for needs, everybody has different needs. Everybody has different wants. No individual on this planet is exactly the same. We are, and my Reiki teacher and I spoke about this last night, we are all souls having a human experience. The entire earth dimension is like a massive exam room. Every single person has a different questionnaire. You might have the same question here and there, but Dizzy with the big D and Sunil are going to answer the questions differently because of their experiences, because of their soul journey, because of what they see themselves as, because of what their societal structure is. We are individual footprints, every single one of us, but we are being forced to be sheep quite a bit.
Yes, I do address people and sheeple. So acknowledge who you are and what you do.
Exactly. And you say those words, acknowledge who you are and what you do. There are so many people, and I speak about this in my book as well, who don't pat themselves on their back enough. Because we are taught to be so humble sometimes. We don't say, well done for doing the washing. Well done for getting this far. Well done for wearing your mask outside. Well done for whatever it may be. You need to do that because that is self-love. Self-love is so important. It helps you discover things like your worth. And when somebody speaks badly about you or to you, you'll be able to acknowledge that.
So
becoming
it's
aware.
Like you're being grateful to you. Is that
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. We're always saying thank you to other people, but how many times have we just said thank you to ourselves? It's hard because we're not taught to do that. If you look at a little kid who's 3 or 4 or 5 years old, they're going, well done, Johnny. Who's Johnny? Johnny is that person. They are that kid. We lose our inner child because of the way society indoctrinates our brains. But that is a normal process of a human experience. But becoming aware of it is a soul journey towards awakening.
So it's almost like not becoming your experience.
It's about acknowledging the experience with love and compassion, but not letting it affect you in such a way that makes you not be who you really are.
Yes. So what other practical things? So if we're going to give someone the homework, what are we going to say? What's the homework for next week? What are we going to get them to do? So first of all, writing down their gratefuls. What would you suggest? Let's set the homework because you look like a headmaster now.
Right. So the homework is going to be as follows. Find what works for you.
Okay.
Find what works for you. If journaling, writing down every single day doesn't work for you, save a voice note on your phone. If you want to write down just one word, do that. When people say you must meditate every single day, my homework would be go and find a form of meditation that is going to uplift you, that's going to work for you. And a meditation could be something like just acknowledging a breath for 2 minutes or 1 minute. So my homework would be meditation.
So daily practices we're talking now, right? Every morning. Yes. I mean, Maxine mentioned getting up in the morning and doing 5 minutes meditation, sitting in a quiet place, breathing, acknowledging how you want your day to be. Would you say that ties in with all that?
It ties in big time with that. But again, I'm going to say, find what works for you. Don't be forced into doing a certain practice that you just doesn't sit well with you. If it
Okay.
doesn't sit well with your energy, don't do it. Find something that works for you, for your soul, because you are working on you.
Because you are the most important person.
As you are, and thank you for the compliment.
So, okay, so look, we're coming to the end of the hour. I know there's lots of people in the UK that are chanting, "It's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming home." I'm already home, so I'm not bothered what happens at home. How's
I'm
the
also
mood?
at home right now.
How's the
I've
mood in
completely.
South Africa?
Well, I haven't watched the president's address because his address started at 8 o'clock because we locked down level 4. So I'm gonna rewatch his address
Okay.
now, and I'm gonna sit there with bated breath to see what he has to say. Take it as it comes, man. Live in the moment, be in the
The other
now.
thing I was going to say, your book. How can people get hold of your book?
So my book, you can order it off Amazon, and if you're in South Africa, you get it off Takealot. But Amazon is the best way. So if anybody connects with me on social media, there is a link on my social media that takes them straight to where they can order the book from. But for bulk orders, they have to go through my publisher because bulk orders get a special discount.
Perfect. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. On next week's show, we'll put some links up. My wizard Woo is not available today. Normally, I'll do some magic and I'll say, "Hey, Woo, Wizard Woo, can you do some magic?" So we haven't got the wizard sorcerer with us today, so we're not doing any tricks. But because, like I said, because of the global football thing, you know, everyone loves kicking balls around here. So I'm waiting for it. In fact, we've got one more guest who's going to be coming in next week. I'm just waiting for him to turn up. But being the comedian and entertainer you are, I wanted to leave a couple of minutes so you could just share your because you are an absolute hilarious guy. What you did on that advert was just amazing. So I just want to share some of that energy. So go on, tell us some jokes or do your Sunil Osman thing.
Well, the funny thing is this: is that I don't perform comedy anymore. When I went to Los Angeles and I performed for the Laugh Factory, something happened in my brain and I realized, okay, these people think I'm Spanish. I was dying on stage like you cannot believe. And then all I said, and I'll never forget it, I said, look, I'm just an average guy that looks Indian that doesn't own a 7-Eleven. And they thought it was the funniest thing on the planet. So every time I felt like I was dying, I just said, look, I'm just an average Indian guy that doesn't own a 7-Eleven. And every time I said it, I made my accent get worse and worse and worse. Look, I'm just an average Indian guy that doesn't own a 7-Eleven. And when I got the head moving, and then eventually my time was up. But yeah, I don't perform comedy that much, but I host a lot of gigs. But yeah, I've had a lot of a great experience. I've traveled. I went to 29 different locations in 2 years. I went to Alaska, Iceland, Norway. I ate whale. I don't want to talk about that. I went to Ireland. I had an amazing time. And this is on the cruise ships. And when you're on a cruise ship, you just see water. Now, normally as a guy, when you see water, you want to go to the bathroom the whole time, but not this time. Not this time. This time it was hard work and it paid off nicely. And I gained skills. Like I became an auctioneer. So I used to use the comedy and the emceeing and the acting to do auctioneering. So I was auctioning Dizzy. I'd be go, Dizzy, on the block right now with Dizzy for £1 now, £1 now, nobody bid for one. Okay, cheers, Dizzy. I'll be able to bid you up, you know. I'm saying I'll be able to get more for you. But the charity work and things I've done around the world is also fantastic. I've done diversity training, but definitely comedy. It is the hardest thing I can tell you I've ever done in the industry. Ever. And I had 9 years of that, 10 years. Obviously, I still use some of the comedy when I'm hosting shows around the world, but yeah, me, I'm funnier when I've got no pants on.
That was hilarious that day, I must say. But But listen, sort of, look,
Yeah.
I want to say thank you for coming on board. We are going to have you on again. This is just the beginning of what we've started. So thank you so much for everybody who's
Thank
been
you.
on. If you are watching the recording, thank you for watching the recording. We're going to end it now, and I think my next guest, who's going to be in next week, should be in soon. So, Sunil,
Thank you very much, man. Love and light to you and everybody.
in
Love and light to
Spanish.
everybody.
I'm going to see you. Habla español. Sí, sí. Thank you very much, Sunil. It's a pleasure to have you on. Yeah, thank you very much.
You too.